Hi folks, Aces up here for PokerNerve, part 3 now, continuing on. With this Scoop Sunday, we've got the warm-up top right, and thanks to, well, let's just relive it together, shall we? We called with the 6-8 suited on the button, because this guy's been pretty tight. At the same time, I think he's an amateur, so I feel like this sort of hand will over-realize its equity. And it did, because we flopped trips and we raised flop, because I said I think it's going to look a bit, fishy or weird. And apparently it did, because he re-raised us and then shoved the turn with the almighty ace high, ace jack, drawing dead on the turn. Unfortunately, it's sad when it happens, but it's good for us because it's popped us back up to average, which is good. And bottom middle, we have a pretty good stack in the 215 Bounty Builder, and bottom right is the Excel Inferno. $55 Sunday Breeze. All in with King Queen against Ace 10, and we have won a tiny little miniature baby pot with that King Queen. But we'll take it. Puts us back up to average. I'm going to try and play a little bit better this level. There was some mistakes last level between the multi-tabling and the streaming. We'll try to play better this level. There's like 2 or 3 mistakes that really kind of stood out to me, but it happens. All in here with Queens against Ace King. Hold. Wow. Get your cameras out. We are winning hands. I think we'll raise Jack Queen. And definitely going to continue with the 9s. They need a lot of protection here. I think that's probably too big. I feel like this size is pretty good. He donk leads turn. It's going to call his donk lead. Does seem a bit fishy, doesn't it? But at the same time, we only have 9s. And he donk leads again on the river. This is pretty annoying. Wish I had more time bank to think about it, you know. I think I'm just going to fold. We don't have a diamond. If we had a diamond, I'd call. We're betting in the big 44 with the 9s. Get a fold. Seems like every hand's 9s, doesn't it? Every hand is a 9 and a 9. Pretty much every hand is pocket 9s. Weenies. We've only got M6, so just open it up for a min. Looks pretty strong, but there's only like a few good regs on the table. So Moment Mori, he's going to be all over this raise. He's going to know that it's strong. And he folds, tank folds. I think he reads situations like that as good as anyone. It would have been good to have a fish in the big blind who just would have flicked it in with, Jack 4 suited and just flopped a pair and just got it in, you know. But Memento Mori is too smart for that. He knows we're sitting there with like jacks plus, tens plus, maybe ace king. Lucky. So we've got ace queen here, top right. Wow, this is weird against Gandalf. I think I'm going to call. So I'm just going to flat with the ace queen because there's some pretty deep stacks behind. And then if this guy had have jammed, you know, we could have assessed and decided if we want to continue, but I probably would have folded if he had a jam, to be honest. Not a knockout. It's not like he's going to be isolating thin. And we could flat there with monsters. It's king, aces, kings. So we got a flush draw bottom left here. Just trying to work out how we want to play it. I mean, I'm gonna play it like I would, I guess, with a 10 or even like a small ace. That, well, actually, I probably jam all aces pre, so I'm gonna pretend I have a 10. I think betting the turn here is okay, but I think checking is probably better because we don't really get called by anything worse. The only benefit is it just protects our hand. You could still have an ace or try to get value now with like king 10 or something. It was just annoying. But at the same time, you know, like he didn't jam pre, which he might do with like a lot of weaker aces and even a lot of 10s. Like if he has king 10, he might just jam pre. So I kind of feel like we have to call. Or he might not. But yeah, I think we kind of have to call there. It's a bit annoying, but I actually must admit, I do see players do that a lot more than I probably, oh, sorry guys. Where are we now? Table's dead. A lot more than I give them credit for. Or should I say, like what would be the opposite of giving credit? I mean, like ungiving credit. Like for him to just raise it with ace 5. Like I'm going to go as far as to say it's horrific, to be honest. Like everything worked out perfectly for him. We had a flush draw, then turned a pair and everything, but like it's just horrific. Because if we have jack 8, well, he's given us the right price to call. If we have like king 2, he's given us the right price. If we've got like 3-4 suited, he's given us the right price. So all of a sudden he's taken a situation 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's close. All of a sudden he's taken a situation where he's got like this super profitable jam spot. And all of a sudden he's just given us like you know, a really profitable spot, a spot that could have gone from really unprofitable to really profitable. I mean, ace 5 suited, we've only got m6 in the big blind, is a fist pump jam. Everybody knows that. But by just raising it, it doesn't accomplish anything at all. All it does is it just allows your opponent to play correctly and call with a hand like Queen 8. Flop a pair, and now you're in a world of hurt. Most of the time on the flop, you're not going to have ace 10 boards. Most of the time you're going to have like a king 7-3 board. And then what are you going to do out of position with your ace 5? You've got a hand that was super, super, super profitable, and you've turned it into just some sort of nightmare spot. And so it's the same with small pairs. Exactly the same thing with like if you had a rolled pocket 4s there or something, you know, like exactly the same thing. You must jam those hands. Anytime your opponent's got sub m7, you must just jam them. You know, if you've got pocket 2s or an ace-x, just jam it. Otherwise, you just allow your opponent to play good poker and just make a call in position with a hand that's got really good equity against you and will over-realize, especially against a small pair or an ace. Any hand he has will any hand you have against that sort of range, any hand will over realize in position. So if we have Jack 8 and call, we're going to over realize our equity in position against a hand like Ace 5 or 4s. It's going to be so tricky for him to play those hands. They do not play well. 7s, on the other hand, when you flop middle set against the donk, yeah, I mean, let's be honest, it plays well. It's going to over realize. And we are going to have to call. Now, I'm not sure on the turn. Like, there's a straight there now, so if he jams, I'll probably fold. Just kidding. I'm trying to work out a good size to bet. I don't want to lose him. I think I'm going to bet like this much. Give him enough room that he could still jam if he wants to. He's thinking about it. I think he's drawing dead. We even blocked diamonds. Oh my god, he has jammed. And he's got the aces! Pass the sugar! Poor guy. Gets the aces. And now he's like... yes, I can get aces up back before... killing me with the... when I had ace high and I made that silly bluff. Now I can at least get some chips back with my aces. And then he's like, oh my god, he has 7s. I think I'm going to squeeze with the king 8 here. Yeah, seems good. I mean, the thing about this hand is like calling with it is a bit meh, you know. I mean, it's not going to play that good. I'd rather just rather squeeze with it. Get some chips that way. Go down with a C-bet. Kind of a weird spot. Like I raised 3 with the king 5 and check called the flop just because we have a gutser and backdoor nut flush, and king high is sometimes the best hand. It's probably going to look to our opponent like we have like 8s or 10s or something, but see if he has the heart to fire through. He does. He has the heart. He has the guts. Guts to fire again. And I'm just going to fold. And always a nice when you have kings, right? I gotta be honest, like I play this hand like a bit of a puss. This spot, I should say. I mean, it's just so hard to get value in this spot. I mean, what do you get value from in this spot? It's just so few hands. Wow, that's actually a really bad card for him to bluff on. I don't know if he bluffs on that card. But he might. It's actually a really sick spot. I kind of want to call just because, like, we don't block a 4. Like, there's so much 4x. There's 7-8. There's clubs. Like, I think I was going to call if he bet or shove, to be honest. I think I was. Just because I feel like we have to call some percentage of the time in this spot. We can't always just check and then just fold to bets with hands like all the pairs between 6s and an ace. And so on that specific board where there's like 7-8, maybe 7-9, maybe 8-9, maybe 4x, maybe some other random shit as well as clubs, and we don't have a club, I think I would have just called a shove, to be honest. If he's got the ace or whatever, then good on him. But once we check the flop and appear somewhat capped, we're going to have to at least defend some frequency. Especially since I'm not checking that many aces. I mean, pocket aces I would, but like, it's not very many combos. Wow, this guy's just jacked it up. I always find this spot's really tricky. Where there's like like the pot's really huge and now it gets even huger. I normally find that I just fold in them, but I probably fold a bit, excuse me, too much to be honest. I probably fold a little bit too much in these spots, I must admit. The reason why I do it is just because, like, to continue in the hand, the pot on the flop is going to be like over 5k, right? And he's only going to have like 22 left, so SPR of like 4. I know we have a pretty good hand and we're in position, but like, it feels like so much of the tournament comes down to that one hand where we're in a sort of dicey spot where we've got a medium strength hand given the situation in a massive pot, albeit in position, which is good. But normally, you know, there's so many small ball, you know, situations or just times when you can, you know, flop better. I hate this hand here, but I think I'm going to bet it. I mean, I hate the fact that it's checked. It looks like he's trying to get tricky on us, but our hand needs so much protection. Like, I think we have to bet it. He's going to check raise a lot though, I think, and it's just going to be a nightmare if he does. All right, I'm feeling a little bit better about things now. It's just very unusual for a player to check on this board because I mean, it's pretty dry. I think we have to check now. I think now we have to check. We're not really getting value from worse, and he still could be like slow playing or just have checked like pocket queens or something. Oh my god, are you serious? Get out of here, man. How does the ace come? He's going to have ace jack for sure. Ace jack, ace 10, ace 9 all day long. I wonder if we can have a shove. Try and get him to fold an ace. It's never going to work. Just have to check and give up. Ace 9, of course. It's just so annoying. Just fade it one time. Just fade it. Fade or Holt style. Fade or. So annoying. I guess we could have gone a little bit larger on the flop, but I mean, he's only got 6 outs when he continues a lot of the time if he hasn't got the kings or like a king X or a queens. To be honest, I'm a little bit surprised he didn't just c-bet his hand. I thought he would. I thought he's the sort of guy that would just c-bet that hand. I was a little bit surprised. Once he check calls, now it's okay. He's just probably got ace high. Checks turn, gets to the river, checks. I think his river check is, I don't know, it's probably okay. I mean, looks like he has ace X, and if he bets it, it just looks more like it. So it's like, I think he has to just check and just hope that we make some ridiculous bluff. Or he can just bet small, I guess. He could just bet small. So I'm in the big 44 here with the king queen suited. I'm going to 3-bet it and just call off a few jams. And ace jack here, I think I'm going to squeeze this. And I'm going to squeeze this as well, actually. 3, 6, 9, 12, 12, 12. Let's just do this much. See how that works. So I think we have to keep the initiative here and fire with the ace king. But we will be running into pairs, I feel, a lot in this spot. And it's a pretty bad turn, so. The only thing I think we really beat now is like 6, 7, and 10 jack. But I don't feel like he's got those hands. Because he just like check snap the flop like he has like 7s. You know what I mean? Or 10s that just doesn't want to get all in but has a decent hand. Unless he's just got like ace queen or something, but. Oh yes, come on, football. We're really lucky he might have like the same hand. It feels like he's got 5s or 6s though all day long. Oh my god, he's got ace 6. What a champ. What a champion. Champion player. I like him. I like him a lot. I may even love him. I just don't see how we can ever not have the best hand here with those three. Question is, do we want to bet or check? I think we want to bet small. Just do not see how we can't have the best hand. Unless he's got, I guess, like a weirdly checked 6-7. I mean, surely pocket 8s would bet the turn. I mean, surely 6-7 would bet the turn, but sometimes these guys do some weird things. Now, this is interesting, and sometimes I miss spots like this because I'm playing so many tables or whatever, but we've got a big blind who's only got like a couple of bigs, and we just have to be aware that we get $50 if we knock them out. And that being the case, I think I'm definitely going to call with King 8 suited. We could even maybe 3-bet it, but I don't have any notes on this guy. I'm just going to presume that he's probably a fish. And I just feel like he's going to get angry if we try and steal his bounty. And he's just going to go mental with anything. I'm going to call with 7-8 suited top right. Seems like a pretty good spot to call because we're so deep. Standard stuff top left. I'm going to continue backdoor flush, backdoor straight. So now we get to call and we need a king or an 8. We have nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, he's fired pot on the turn. I think against pot I'm going to fold. We have better hands we can continue with. So the ace queen is kind of close one, bottom right down there. Yeah, I mean, this is really close. I feel like he's full of shit, but I mean, we could even just rip it. It's a massive jam, but like, I'll just call, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't even hate just ripping it. It's like an M20 whack, but I mean, we've opened cutoff and he's small blind, like, and he's, it just feels like it's just 3-betting. Just all, oh my god, this guy's potted the turn. I have to check. Excuse me, I guess I'm gonna fold, but I think he's just, his default bet size, I think, is just abnormally large. Well, maybe it's lucky we didn't 3-bet this guy, because it appears like he has ace-king. Certainly playing it like ace-king. But at the same time, maybe he's just got like 6-8 and he's just checking like bottom pair and he's polarized. Oh my god. He does have ace-king, now he's going to bet like 1100. This is so, oh my god, this is the sickest. This is so gross. This is so gross. How does this happen to us? How do we turn river top pair? Doesn't really feel like he's got a 9. I guess he could have ace-9. I mean, he's telling us he's got ace-king and we've got a blocker, and he's pretty polarized from the small blind. So I guess just in case he's got like ace-5 or some weird hand, I'm going to call this small bet. But it's like, he does have ace-9. What a prick. What a prick. Oh, man. Hence, I should have just shoved pre-flop. I mean, we did have him dominated, though, so we can't be too upset. I should have just ripped it, though, I think. It's pretty big ripping M20 there, though, but, I mean, we do have ace-queen. And, I mean, his range is pretty wide, like we saw. Well, I mean, yeah, it's wide. That's one of the better hands, I think, in his range there. Certainly not a bad hand to be sporting. Just annoying when you have a player dominated like that. They just seem to get there a lot. How's that river, though? Like, seriously. They have to find the king. The queen, I mean. They can't find a king. They can't find a 9. They can't find a repeat. They can't find an 8. They can't find any card in the deck except a queen. Like, any card in the deck except a queen. It's the only one. But they find it. They found it. There's only 3 of them left. They found it. Bang, queen. Here you go. Here you go, aces up. Have a queen. And then the bet size by him was really good. Like, we were getting a really good price. And he was ace, king, and ace 9 we lose to. And pretty much that's it. And because he's small blind, I felt like he could have a wide range. Yeah. I felt like his range could be wide, but sometimes on the flop, he might just give up because it's a pretty nightmare flop. If you're sitting there with like ace deuce or like 4-5 suited, like it's a pretty bad flop. So I felt like he might have given up, But then on the river, I sort of, you know, felt compelled to have a little stab. Oh my god, we have aces. 7, 14, 21, 28, M4. I wonder. I think I might just min. There's a lot of, like, I think recreational players in this field, so I think minning is okay. We get called. We're gonna lose this pot for sure. We are gonna lose this pot for sure. Somebody is set mining here. Somebody is set mining here. Who is it? Who is set mining? Who is it? Who's just set mined and just destroyed aces up? I might as well just shove, I guess. Nah, actually, we can maybe bet. Oh my god. Oh, this is the sickest. He's got us for sure. So annoying. I'm not folding though. Or 10, of course. It's so sick. It's so sick. He has the 410. It's so sick. So sick he has the 410. We were only M4. I don't think we can fold river. We were going to fold and have M2 left, you know. It's like, it's so sick that he defends with 410 off though. It's so sick because we just raised like UTG with M4, so we pretty much only have aces exclusively. But he still takes the 410 out. But, you know, he was getting like pretty insane odds once it goes call. Like he was getting 1 billion to 1, so I can't really fault him. I might have flicked it in as well with 410 off, just because it's like call and call. So he's getting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's getting like 8 or 9 to 1 or something crazy. But even with 410, you know, especially since he knows we have. Well, he might not know, but he should think that we have aces. So he might be like, well, you know, if I happen to bink trips or 2 pair, there's aces up in there with aces and all these fish in there that have just called an M4 open UTG, then, you know, I'll probably get can win a big pot, but it's questionable if it happens often enough. It probably doesn't really. But generally in situations like that, players get overly sucked into the pot odds. And it's one of the leaks I wrote about in one of my articles recently. I think it was my first point of like 10 things players are doing incorrectly. Defending the big blind too wide. But that one was definitely meh. It was kind of close because he was getting such crazy odds. But the thing that players don't think about is equity realization. So, for example, you know, if the board comes Jack 10, 5, you know, he might have the best hand, but he's not going to get against good players. You know, they might bluff him off the hand a lot and so forth. So, he doesn't get to realize his equity a lot. For those of you, I've talked, that's the second time I've talked about equity realization this stream. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, an easy way of thinking about it is just imagining that 2 different players have the same hand. That's the easiest way of thinking about it. So you give, you know, Phil Ivey or Patrick Antonius, whoever you like, give one hand, you know, in a situation. And then you give, I'm trying to think of someone that I imagine to be like a fish in poker. I don't know. Just imagine Ariana Grande's got like, you know, the same hand. Is that how you say her name? I don't even know. But you imagine she plays a hand, and then Patrick Antonius plays the same hand. Who's going to make more money with the hand? I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. Unless she's good at poker. Maybe she's good. I don't know. Speculating. That's equity realization. It's just your ability to play a hand more profitably in a certain spot. 8 seal. I think King 9 is like borderline. I think if he had a bigger bounty, I'd call. I think I gotta fold. If I was suited, I would call it. King 10, I would call as well. Pocket eights is pretty borderline as well. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy Russian over here has been pretty aggressive. It's probably okay. Pretty bad flop though. I checked the turn bottom right just because I think this guy checks back a lot of Jack X. Man, can that board get any worse? He had ace nine, so I think if he had a bet river, I mean, I was pretty much compelled to call, but Queenies, 21. This is like a guy who's been betting pot and going nuts, isn't it? Just trying to think if we can't try anything to try and get him to spaz out post, like check back like low boards or something. Wow, we just turned 2 pair. This could be good. Hope he doesn't have 10 jack. That can't happen to us again. It just happened before where we like made the perfect card for us and it like gave the guy a better hand with the ace queen. So I don't think it's gonna happen again, is it? 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm just gonna get the queens in, to be honest, if piggy bank goes again. Bit of a maniac, this guy. He's a well-known high-stakes player, but wow, what a flop. What a flop, man, come on. Ace king. This guy's bet pretty big. After tanking, it's a little bit concerning. Like, I don't know, it's a very abnormal tank length. I think I'm just going to jam it, to be honest, because our hand is so vulnerable, but just a snap fold. It's kind of a weird tank length to tank that long and bet. So what went through my mind is when I see him tank that long and then bet, I mean, yeah, he could just be distracted by other tables, but probably not because he's like in a pretty big hand there. So my first thought was I'm probably going to check jam turn because I would do that with like lots of flushes and combo draws and stuff. So I want to do it with some strong hands as well. And 2 pair seems like the 2 pair that we have seems pretty optimal for it because we're blocking a lot of sets and we're not blocking like a lot of top pair hands like ace queen and stuff that might call and aces and kings and stuff. Seems like a pretty good check jam to add into our turn check jam range. But when he tanks that long, what was going through my mind is he might be overly tanking with a strong hand to try and make us think like he has a tough decision when really he's sitting there with top set or 10 jack the nuts. Or he's in a really close spot where he doesn't know whether to bet or check and he's thinking about the river, what he's going to do, and he's may have made up his mind, especially the sizing that he chose. It kind of felt like he may have decided to commit strongly to the hand and he's decided he was going to bomb like turn and then smash river. I don't know. I just felt like when he bet turn that size, it just feels like he's getting set up for a big, a big river, bet, which kind of made me want to switch from jamming to calling because, if the river bricks out and he smashes, we could win a massive pot. But at the same time, there's just so many bad rivers, just so many. I mean, an ace or a king or a jack can all give him 2 pair jacks and kings and tens and eights or nines or whatever, sevens or whatever, all complete. Like there can be lots of 1-card straights. The flush can come in. I mean, it was just like a super dynamic board. So 17. I'm going to fold the king 10. That's a really close spot. Top right's really close as well. I would 3-bet that a lot, top right. But the reason why I didn't this time is because this guy seems like he's just a station. So he just called with Jack 7 when we 3-bet his UTG open. So it's like, I don't think we have any fold equity. So I'd rather hedge more towards value and cut out some of those weaker bluff hands, like Queen 8. And the reason why I folded bottom left is just because there's some really short stacks here. And this, I could be wrong, but like guys don't normally open into short stacks like this. But apparently he does. So now I wish I had 3-bet him. I would definitely normally 3-bet, and I still think maybe I should have. It's definitely very close. Very, very close. I should probably just min bottom left. Just to make sure these guys, just to give these guys the impression they have as much fold equity as possible. To get them to jam as wide as possible with like ace deuce and 9-10 suited and stuff we dominate. And this guy, on the other hand, decides to 3-bet large. And I think I'm just going to fold this hand. This is one of the worst hands I'll open here. Just because I'm not going to raise into short stacks with, you know, that are jamming a lot with a wide range. So top right, again, bottom left, same thing. And top right again, I would squeeze this sometimes, but I think in this spot, calling is a superior play. Just because we're really deep and we've got a suited ace, which can, you know, win some big pots. And I don't think we get much fold equity against this guy who's a bit of a maniac on the button and this massive fish here. So I'd rather just play. And he does bet the turn. I'm going to call. And river is pretty close if he bets. Come on, ace king. No, he's flopped a house. That is how they do it. Wow, it's a pretty bad river. I could actually see piggy bank actually having... I could actually see piggy bank having queen 10 here, some percentage. He just had the a6, that's good. The other guy, I have no idea what he was doing. No idea at all what he was doing. Hmm. Yeah. We bet there. Oh, Jamie Staples calling with king queen suited. That is not the flop we wanted, is it? It's basically the exact opposite of the flop we wanted. Pocket eights will be all in down here. Yep, pretty standard. Yeah, ace king. I'm gonna fire here. Excuse me. I think with the ace of diamonds, like we have to call once he check raises, and then, damn it, 8-ball. Actually, a interesting card. Suits our range a lot more than his. kind of want to... I feel like he's folding. Does he check raise with and now bets on that card? I kind of want to jam, but it's like our whole stack. But it feels like he's just full of shit so often. But he might just be overplaying like a sick maniac. We do block the flush draw, like ace-x combos. Which just makes it a little bit less attractive, I guess. But at the same time, like I said, we're not going to be continuing that often without it. Maybe if we had like the ace-king with the other backdoor. If we had ace-king of spades, maybe we should just jam turn there sometimes. I don't know. I just feel like guys like that. I just feel like they bluff too much when they check raise this flop. Anytime a player goes against the grain of trying to look strong on boards that strongly favor your range, then you should be suspicious, you know? Anytime a player does that, I think you should be a little bit suspicious because naturally they're going to be more polarized. So, for example, you know, in this situation here, I'm going to call here with the sixes. Low card. Repeat. All right. So, for example, here, you know, we've 3-bet pre-flop, so we can have aces, kings, queens, jacks, tens, nines, maybe ace-9. Obviously high cards as well. So for him to check raise on this board against that range, I mean, he's pretty much saying, excuse me, sir, I have a set. Or maybe I've just called a pre with like jacks, but now I think I'm good. So it's like... you know, it's a pretty thin range, is what I'm saying. So it kind of looks a bit weird. That's what makes me skeptical. When I see that sort of play, when a guy does that, I'm like, You know, because his base rate of bluffs is, I feel like it's still kind of high. You know what I mean? Like, considering how wide players call 3-bets these days. This is pretty close, I think, with Jamie. He's definitely not, you know, he's definitely not a nit. So I could see 4-betting there being a play for sure. Yeah, actually, I think maybe I should have 4-bet that. But I didn't have much time bank and decided to just keep it simple. Calling is definitely not bad, but he has made it 4x. And if we believe him, or I should rephrase that, just against his range in general, like King Jack is doing pretty bad, you know. King Jack is doing pretty bad. This is a really tough spot. Bottom left there. I wish we had a diamond. I feel a little bit better about calling with a diamond. It would just feel a little bit better if we had a diamond. We do block 3-5. We could just have one big diamond. He's trying to tell us he has a flush. I think we have to call. He's got king high. Well done, buddy. That's what I was talking about, checking and being polarized. Capped, I should say. I mean capped. Wow, this guy raises on this turn, like the biggest brick of all turns, and decides to raise. I think he's got 7-9. What else can he have? He might just think we're full of shit. I guess he could have ace-7 or pocket 3s. That would be a bit disgusting. That'd be gross. That would be grotesque. Wow, he does just have the 5-6, the 6 high. I mean, it just seemed like, what can he have, you know, when he raises that board? It just seemed too weird. We have a house. I don't really like his play there much, to be honest. I don't know. I guess maybe it's okay. I think top right I'm going to call, but he's probably not going to bluff. It looks like we have tons of ace-x. I kind of want to go to the Jamie Straple stream. Hi, Andre. Thanks for checking in, buddy. Good to see you. I'm going to go into the Jamie Staple stream. I kind of want to see what he had when he 3-bet us. See if I can find it. Twitch. What is it called? Like, is it just Jamie? I don't know. Hopefully he's got enough delay that the hand hasn't passed yet. He has a massive delay, so I don't think he will have Jamie Staples. Yeah, search. Search, damn you! It's not searching. Quickly, before it goes. Come on! Just search already. You know, you get these search boxes from time to time. Oh, here he is. I got him. There he is. I don't know if you can hear the sound, guys. I don't think I've got this system sounds off, right? Yeah, okay. This has got some kind of annoying music playing. I think he 3-bets from small blind, so it's actually going to be the very next hand he 3-bets us. He's got aces the hand before. I wasn't paying attention to that hand, but... It's the next hand we have King Jack and he 3-bets us. That's the best. I think I'm going to say he has ace 8 suited and does it. 10 Jack suited, okay. We actually had him crushed. We actually had him crushed. And if I had a 4-bet him, I don't know what he would have done. He might have actually have called. That's a nice hand. Pretty standard. And, well, our 4-bet, I would have been, I'm just curious to see what he would have done with it. He was obviously just saying, you know, he didn't want to just flatten and let piggy bank in as well. 639, which is definitely reasonable. I would have done the same thing. I think his play's pretty fine. You could definitely call with it though as well. Just got to VPip it one way or another. Speaking of VPipping, just we bet ace king on the button and this guy's made the 4-bet. I think I'm just gonna rip it. It's like so deep though. We're so silly. We're just ridiculously deep. Like it's just a silly amount to rip, but at the same time we have ace king and we've got that natural sort of 3-bet spot, 4-bet spot where it's like cut off button. Nah, I'm just gonna call. I guess I don't really want to rip like 20 million big blinds with ace. Do we want to rip 20 million big blinds with ace king? Ace king! Come on, baby! 3! Yes! Up to 56k in the warm-up. Well, we flopped the king. I'm going to call. And we have what's known as a house. A full house, which is a house where there's just way too much junk in there. It's completely full. Or just stuff, actually, not junk, just stuff. Maybe an antique shop with no aisles to move around, just antiques everywhere. It's just full of stuff. In this case, actually, the right stuff, the good stuff, stuff we want. I guess I'm just going to bet, but it's kind of hard to imagine him calling here. I guess we could have checked. There's always a chance that he just like completely spazzes out and just thinks that we have like pocket sixes and we have to bet to win, you know? And just decides he's going to hang around, do some crazy shit. There's always that possibility. Speaking of crazy shit, we are all in with fours in the bigs. And we're all in with Jack 2 in the 33. 4. That's a house. We are loving the houses today. The full houses. Houses of fullness. Oh. The pocket fours, I just ripped them 12, which is kind of deep. You know, 30, yeah, 30 bigs, but this guy's been kind of loose, and he was just cut off. So it's like, I think it's good. You could 3-bet it. You could 3-bet, I guess. But 3-betting is not really my preferred play these days. It would have been my preferred play like 3 or 4 years ago, because players didn't flat 3-bets wide. But now they pretty much flat a lot. So like, if I 3-bet and he just decides he's going to peel off with like King 9 suited, then it's kind of annoying, you know? Whereas if I jam, he's going to have to fold that. So I prefer to just jam it. Because this goes back to something I was saying before about the small blind when you have ace-x and, small pairs, how you just want to be jamming it. Damn it. I can't open the King 10 because the cutoff was sitting out. I wouldn't normally open it from here, but we'll have to fold. Unfortunately. Jamie Staples is still on our table, so I might just leave the stream on the side there, and if I need to bring it up, we can see what he's doing. It's kind of annoying that he had 10 jack. It's kind of annoying. No, I mean, it was pretty standard. It's all standard, but just annoying that, like, we had him crushed. Just but, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe I could call with King Jack. It's just such a... I mean, in position, I mean, I guess it is a call, really. Should be, I mean, it should be a call, but I just felt like his range was going to be a little... Jamie's range would be a little bit more polarized in that. He might have, like, ace-x, like ace-8 suited, or he might have, like, you know, ace-king and stuff. But I know he's capable. Like, he's a good player. He's capable of mixing in some doesn't have to have monsters. So, and like he said in the stream, you wouldn't have heard it, but he was saying that he would flat there a lot of the time, but he didn't want to let piggy bank in just because he didn't really want to take that hand 3-way against 2 regs. Which is fair enough. Which I think is good, actually. Aces. 4. 5. We'll take a 5. I think I will see bet this one. We've got the back door as well. The back door, it's got a whole lot of back doors. Ace-6 when it gets to the river, it's pretty close. I think I will bet it, actually. I think I, 45 out of 5. Maybe weak check. Nah, that's so close. I'm going to check it. What the hell? Didn't we see bet the flop? Didn't we see bet the flop? We called with 3-7. Thought we see bet the flop. Am I going crazy? I really thought we see bet the flop. Can I see that again? I'm pretty sure we see bet that flop, did we not? Double barrel got through there with the king queen, so that's good. Maybe I thought I bet maybe I checked it. Oh, I did. I checked it. Okay. I mean, I don't hate checking it, but I would prefer to just bet it. At some point. Like flop, I think betting at any point actually is fine. But I prefer to bet the flop. Just to clean up your equity, because this happens so much, you know, where they just bink a pair on the turn and they get showed out with the river if you just check. Even though we've got ace high, like it's a reasonable candidate to do some checking. We've got a backdoor flush, backdoor straight, and we can put pressure on like if he's got sixes or 5-6, even like Jack X if we fire, you know, if we fire flop and he calls and then turns like a 4 of diamonds and we fire again, you know, he's under a lot of pressure. And he could still have some better aces as well, like ace-8 and stuff that we might get to fold out. So I think I just prefer betting. And also, like I said earlier, just keeping ranges uncapped is just so favorable rather than capping ranges. Because players just play so much better against capped ranges where they have better visibility. Okay, guys, break time. Be right back. This has been Aces Up for Poker Nerve. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.